us to go the way of Fort Defiance. We're here to stay.
Yeah, if I don't sleep tonight, I should be able to do this.
I bet they stuck us out of the way down here so they don't have to remember us.
Well, I hope you convinced the Brotherhood to make good.
I'm never gonna make a name for myself holding down the fort. When do I get to go out and prove my worth?
Wow. Gotta admit, I didn't really think you were gonna do that. Hey, sorry about being so high-headed earlier. It turns out you are right. I'm not used to that. Thanks. I'm gonna get back to the grind. I spent too much time here as is. And watch your back out there.
The elders have so much
And with these guys.
I hope I'll get to meet them in person someday.
We're all good now. I'll see you around.
Yes? Did you need something else? Your enthusiasm is refreshing. I could discourse on the subject for hours if allowed. Regretfully, I am preparing to return to my lab and do not have the time. Perhaps if we meet again in more congenial circumstances. No matter. I did tell you not to bother. Still, I regret that I have not convinced you of the import of my work. Should we ever meet again, perhaps I can remedy that. I will be leaving shortly. Take care. The wasteland holds many dangers. Keep your wits and your health about you. Farewell.
Back again, huh? You talked to that military fella upstairs? Now that's mighty right of you. Whether they do or not is on them, but you got my thanks for your part in it. Well, I'll be moving along back to the farm soon. Stay out of trouble, you hear?
Hey, got something for little old me? What's the word from the big bad brotherhood, huh? You butter 'em up for me and my friends? Lots of pew 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 for Tally, lasers, and plasma and all that? Yes, duh. Never mind. Not like I'm gonna force it out of you with all these tin soldiers clanking around. Seems like you don't entirely suck, unlike these dopes. Nice change of pace. Stay frosty out there. Hope you got better luck than I did. See you around.
Not much use jawing now. Take care of yourself.
Everything makes sense now. This is my place.
From America to rebuild America. Take the old and forge it anew.
Side country. Who knows what strange contraptions the old mining firms built?
Grow up.
How much they managed to rebuild, in spite of the scorched clay.
Someone return our guns to the place again.
Do you
want to play the Armor Ace board game with me? Oh, well, my name is Maximo. You can call me Max, though, for short. My big sister Marcia and I live here now with the Brotherhood. Isn't that cool?
We're gonna have to.
Well, the town we lived in got attacked by raiders and our mother was killed. But luckily, the Brotherhood of Steel was there and they saved us. Since we didn't really have anyone anymore, Paladin Romani had us come along with them. I can't wait to become a member and fight off bad guys like they do. I'll make sure no one ever has to die again. They're heroes! The Brotherhood is gonna save humanity and help make the world a better place. They saved my sister and me and a bunch of other people along the way. Plus, the power armor they get to wear is so cool! Oh yeah! It's a lot of fun living in the Brotherhood of Steel base. I kinda wish there were more kids my age to play with, but it's okay. The less distractions from my training, the better. I'm gonna become the best Brotherhood of Steel member that Paladin Romani has ever seen. Whatever you want. It's fun talking with you. Sure, I'd be happy to talk about them. I mean, they're my heroes.
Do you need something?
She's the leader of the Brotherhood, and I'm gonna try my best to impress her so that she makes me an initiate one day. It was Paladin Romani's idea to let us stay here with them, and I'm so happy that she did.
Each day in service of the Brotherhood is a step forward.
No way! I can't get the proper training I need to become a Brotherhood of Steel Knight there. I need the best combat training there is, and that's here. Speaking of, I wonder if Knight Shin is busy right now.
Sorry, Max.
Oh, absolutely! She cares a lot about saving people and stopping bad guys. She's a real-life hero.
Running for Defiance and more time here. Where Appalachia's
Okay.
future will be decided.
Odessa is the best. She's super smart and is always saying stuff that I don't really understand, but I'm gonna study really hard. And sometimes when the others aren't around, we play hide and seek around the fort.
Throwing nukes left and right.
Nah, I want to be a knight like Shin so I can wear power armor and use cool weapons. If I was to be a scribe, though, I would want to be just like Odessa. She told me I could because we're friends. Just like how you can call me Max instead of Maximo. Although, when I'm a knight, I would prefer if you called me Knight Max.
I will not allow Atlas to go the way of Fort Defense.
Okay.
We're here to stay.
Odessa is the best. And sometimes when the... Okay. Knight Shin is super cool. Have you seen his power armor? He doesn't really talk to me much, but I think it's just because he's super busy doing Brotherhood stuff and fighting bad guys. Plus, he's usually hanging out by the weapons, and I'm not allowed to go near there. I think we're gonna be best friends one day, though. You think? I want to know all about the Brotherhood of Steel.
Max wasn't around?
What? No, he's just busy. Saving the world is hard work. Someone in the Brotherhood can't be a jerk. They're literally the good guys. Okay. Sounds good to me. Stay safe out there.
Brotherhood needs to stay out of everyone's business and go back to California.
I am a link in the chain that binds. That is what keeps this order together.
Oh. Not as young as you used to be, Layla. Can't spend all day hunting.
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else.
Things would be different now if Taggarty's unit had survived.
I'm sure you wouldn't be too thrilled to talk to anyone if both your parents were dead and you were stuck with the people who caused it.
We're gonna have to bring the Crater Raiders under control eventually.
remind Scribe Valdez to retune my...
I really don't want to talk about it. Just watch out. The Brotherhood can be reckless, and they justify it with some bullshit savior complex.
Civilians are not authorized to be in this area.
Congratulations on not being naive like Max over here. Maybe there's hope for you yet.
Disorder is to be expected in a place that lacked Brotherhood oversight for so long.
I would if I could, but Max refuses, and I can't just leave him behind. We're all that we've got left. Hopefully he'll come to his senses and stop his blind hero worship.
How old do I have to be?
If you want to talk about how great the Brotherhood of Steel is, talk to Max instead. You two can lick Shin's boots together.
Need to have Valdez take another look around.
Congratulations on not being naive like Max over here. Let's not.
I miss Night Connors.
You know what? I just might.
My own operation involved this much paperwork.
Good.
I wonder if
Don't
they can
bother
make
me.
Power armor in my size.
We should spend less time mourning for Defiance and more time here, where Appalachia's future will be decided.
Tell Ramani that I'm tired of being in this place.
Believe these people are still hurling nukes at each other. It's madness.
I hope one day I can meet Elder Maxon.
No meat approved. Perfectly good pie with dinner declined.
Take rule.
This rash quest doesn't even have a name on it.
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need to understand the current.
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. Meantime.
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Yet you'd be amazed how many people refuse to do it. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up. I'm glad you agreed to come along. All I get as a scribe is this stinky pistol. Hardly a match for any mutant critters that sneak in. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial. Here's one. Here's a document. This looks like what we need. I think this is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? Oh, I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. Well, Night Shin did send you, so I guess I can trust you with a little information. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. We run a tight ship in the Brotherhood. Or, at least we're supposed to. All of the information we collect is distributed on a need-to-know basis. I was hoping we could get through this without you needing to know, but I guess that was too much to ask. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups? The diagnostics test can tell us the state of some key components that we won't be able to test manually. Keep an eye on the state of each component and we'll want to look into them after the initial check. The release valve is an emergency mechanism that can relieve pressure on the intake pipes if they come under stress. If all is well, we'll just be able to turn it and nothing out of the ordinary will happen. Think of the wires like the blood vessels of the machine. Without the electricity running through them, nothing's going to work. We just need to do a little checkup and see what condition they're in. Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after. Looks like we've got company. We survived. Glad that's over with.
Stay away!
Are you okay? We really need to get a team down here to get things cleaned up. That does it for the inspection. Let's talk. All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? Misaligned. Problematic to say the least. Next, we have the release valve. That went. Well, what was your assessment? It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were... Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay, well, sorry about the pop quiz. But in general, you're handling yourself well so far. A fair point. We have a saying among the scribes. Through discourse, we gain strength. This wasn't discourse. It was a test. I can't blame you for being upset. I wanted to see if you would pay attention. And I have my answer now. Sorry if I angered you. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started? You saw what happened when we tested the release valve. I want to examine the stress on the gauge. That could tell us if all that built-up pressure was normal or an anomaly. Oh, and you may have to pry it off, but be careful about it when the time comes. The brain of the machine. It's the component that coordinates all of the others. It should be slotted into a terminal somewhere. May take a little technical know-how to extract, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. A very important and technical component. It helps force particles into a beam that the machine could fire to affect the weather. Somehow. Could take a bit of manual dexterity to pry loose without any damage. I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do. Oh, I thought of one more thing. Can you pick up the induction coil up there on the machine core? What was that? What is this thing? That doesn't sound good. Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy. They condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. Oh, I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Romani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help, and good luck with the Paladin.
Go home. Let us take care of things here.
Another complaint. Shin's certainly winning us friends here. Request for the Brotherhood should be passed through Knight Shin.
The Scorched, Raiders...
Ah, you must be the one I've been hearing about. Paladin Layla Romani. What do you need?
Throwing nukes left and right. The people of Appalachia think a bomb is a plaything.
Well, between this and the report I have from Knight Shin, we can discuss you becoming a member of our order. Consider it carefully. Do you wish to join our ranks? Membership in the Brotherhood is a commitment to honor, duty, and service. You would begin as an initiate in our ranks. With time and training, you may one day join the scrolls as a knight or scribe, depending on your aptitudes and choices. On a day-to-day basis, Knight Shin would be your direct superior here, though any of the officers may requisition you for missions if needed.
We arrived in Appalachia not a moment too soon.
I know we can seem cold to outsiders, so I'll let that pass. What I want you to understand is that we are committed to helping the people of Appalachia. We want to aid in the restoration of civilization, and you could be a part of that. Consider it. Both have given their approval to your initiate consideration. Yes. In short, she thinks you are capable, helpful, and possessed of a higher-than-average technical aptitude. Useful qualities in an initiate candidate. Knight Shin said that your attitude regarding the role of the Brotherhood in relation to the civilian community was questionable. Nonetheless, he felt your intentions were honorable, and suitable training would correct any deficiencies. Which means he probably thought I'd like you. That remains to be seen. Yes? I respect that. It is not a decision anyone should make lightly. Should you feel ready, come back and speak with me. Until then, conduct yourself with honor. Ah, you must be the one I've been hearing about. As a paladin, I am the commander of the 1st Expeditionary Force to Appalachia, and by extension, the ranking officer here at Fort Atlas. I've received a report from Knight Shin detailing your assistance in his duties. He has given his approval to your consideration as an initiate. Word around the fort is that you've been working with Scribe Valdez as well. It takes more than hope to join the Brotherhood. Knight Shin has spoken in your favor, but you'd also need Scribe Valdez's approval for me to consider your candidacy. Apologies aren't necessary, citizen. You should get moving, though. I have work to do. With the recommendations of Knight Shin and Scribe Valdez, I'm willing to consider you for membership. But first, I need to see how you handle yourself without direct supervision. In order to be effective in our operations here, we need to establish positive relations with the people of Appalachia. If we make them see us as a beneficial presence in the area, it will be much easier to secure cooperation in the future. We have reports of feral ghoul attacks on traders and travelers in the southwest forest region, indicative of a nest of some kind. I want you to clear it out. Your reward is that I consider you worthy to join our ranks. Limited intel suggests this is a milk run, perfect for a new recruit. But you're not wrong. We don't know the level of threat. Take this as an additional precaution. We don't know. Our initial reports on the attacks came from a family of farmers, the Putnams, that we passed on the way into the region. I think their sons were rather starstruck when we showed up. I almost expected the older boy to follow us when we left. You should start your search there. They may know more. You can find them at the old Lewis and Sons farming supply. Complete this mission satisfactorily, and I will grant you initiate status within the Brotherhood. Yes.
I am a link in the chain that binds.
While I'm not in the habit of explaining my priorities to would-be recruits, you may have noticed there's a lot of work to be done here. You doing it accomplishes the mission and adds another member to our ranks. 2 birds, 1 stone. Very well. Do this, and you will be one of us, with all the rights and responsibilities of a full member of the Brotherhood of Steel. Ad Victoriam. Knight Shin runs the armory downstairs, if that's what you're looking for.
Selves free from America to rebuild America. Take the old and forge it anew. Fort Atlas is in good hands.
Watch your step, it's a mess up here.
Shin's trained us well.
Let's talk. Maybe we'll both learn something. Well, you aren't an initiate yet, but I guess we can discuss it a bit, since you helped out and all. I'd like to reverse engineer it and make more, of course. With the amount of energy it can unleash, we could power all kinds of things for a very long time. Think of how far a vertibird could fly on ultrasight power. No, I don't think so. As much as I'd love to, we're too short-handed, and I just don't have that kind of expertise. We'll have to make do with learning what we can from the project for now. Sure thing. What's the next topic? Lucky for you, I know all about us.
The world has so much to teach us.
I don't suppose you know how to spot weld.
One day I'll make nice, and I'll show those raiders who's boss.
If you're gonna be walking around up here, at least grab a wrench and help me out.
We have to cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America. Take the old and forge it anew. Show that I'm fit to be a scribe when I'm put on
Just a few more tweaks and then it's back to working on that murder bird. Ultrasite country. Who knows what strange contraptions the old mining firms built here?
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need to understand the past as well, or we'll make the same mistakes going forward.
To think of everywhere we've been, this old place may hold the most promise.
Find, protect, and preserve.
Scorched plague. I've seen nothing like it. I wonder if I could get my hands on a sample.
Never forget the heroes of Fort Defiance.
Find, protect, and preserve.
I made it, Scribe Takano. I wish you were here too.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day, but look what else it brought. I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
Calibrate this, tighten that.
We have to cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America. Take the old and forge it anew. Grow up.
Everything makes sense now. This is my place, my mission. The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need a...
war all over. Building this place up is hard work.
Sunny makes a good hoagie.